Hello, Internet. This is Zane, and you're listening to the Rebirth Gaming Podcast. This is episode 4 on.
5.
Fire.
Oh, it says episode, or it says.
Oh.
Alright, so this is episode 5. The date is September 10th, 2014. I am accompanied by Sus, Curran, Tim, and Coolmans. Once again, I am Zane.
I'm an Ender Dragon.
And let's move on to our first topic. Don't waste any time. Rebirth Pack.
Yes! Our mod
Tim,
pack.
I'll let you take the mic for this. At least the beginning.
Yeah. So, we have tried making a mod pack before. Did we do one or two? No, we did 2 mod packs before. One of them was a modification to a mod pack that was already a third-party mod pack. And
Well,
then,
that we then completely changed.
yeah, we completely changed. And then we're like, you know what? This is not going to work out for whatever reason. And then we tried making another mod pack for 1.7.5. But then it was like, wait, all the developers most of them were going straight to 1.7.10. So like, okay, let's just put this
Then
on a
we
back
said, "Fuck
burner
Greg
and
Tech."
wait. Oh yeah, I had Greg Tech on it. Fuck that mod. God damn it, I hate it. I was open-minded to it, and then I played around with it, and I was like, I am not gonna spend 2 hours making a goddamn flint and steel. No. Just no. Sorry, Greg Tech fans. I hate it. But now is a prime time to make a mod pack because most of the mods are up to date. We're actually just waiting for like really one mod to update to 1.7.10, and I think that completes our mod pack. Still a bunch of few more, but our mod pack. Let me get out of the dragon form. It's being annoying. It is a. It's a 1.7.10 pack. Yeah. Go ahead.
If you want to mention that people who want to get into a semi-beta version of the game or of the mod pack, they can
You're welcome to join now. Actually, yeah.
the TeamSpeak, and they could get all the juicy links and stuff from there.
This mod pack is available on both FeedBeast and Technic. And it is beta currently.
Yeah, for that reason, I don't think we should announce the
We're
pack
not-
codes or anything on the TeamSpeak.
Yeah. If you want to participate in this and you're watching this podcast, any of our community members is welcome to hop on TeamSpeak and just ask us for the pack code or how to install it, and we'll let you know. But we do expect people to be on TeamSpeak giving us feedback, whatnot, because it is beta. We need to know what works, what doesn't, what needs to be added, what needs to be removed, blah blah blah, etc. etc.
We should also mention that since it is at a point where we're trying to work out kinks and get new ideas, the people who should be joining should have a level of maturity as well.
Yeah, no getting on here complaining about crap. If you're one of those players who just likes to hop on mod packs and complain about how buggy or laggy they are, this is definitely not for you. We expect people who have had experience with mod packs, with at least giving feedback on mod packs in general, or servers. You're more than welcome to join. Test things. We encourage you to get on here and just break whatever you can. You know, try to push mods that are extreme limit. If it crashes the server,
I'll kill you.
well, don't break our shit. You know, build a base, dive into one of the mods.
If you're crashing our server,
That's
that
a good
means you're
thing.
doing what we want.
Yeah, crashes are good because it lets us know what crashes the server, so we can prevent that from happening on the release of our mod pack. Because we want our release to be as stable as possible. Anyways, what is this mod pack? What's in it? Science, tech, magic, and then everything in between. I literally mean everything in between. We have one of the mods is
Actually,
forbidden magic and technomancy. Those kind of help bring together a lot of the mods.
if you want like a semi-comprehensive explanation as to what's in the mod, I will actually be uploading a video pretty soon that will. It's just basically a mod pack showcase, and I literally just go through NEI and list off what's in the mod pack. I also show off a couple things like Vein Miner, which doesn't have anything regarding NEI, so I decided to go down in my mine and show that off. It's only a 13-minute video, but it'll give you a good idea of what to expect. That should be uploaded later today.
Oh yeah. Once we feel this pack is stable enough to release, we will be announcing it officially outside of the community on Reddit on the Feed the Beast third-party modpack forum.
And I'm not sure if Tim has an answer to this, but do we have a release date yet, or at least a number of days or months that we want to aim for?
I want to, at the absolute latest, have it out first stable release by the end of the month.
Yeah, I think that's doable in like 20 days.
Yeah, hopefully sooner. We can do sooner if we keep chipping away at it.
I think right now the biggest thing we gotta implement is quests, and then we're good pretty much.
Yeah, and I gotta work with Comance with his with the Rebirth mod we're putting in their pack to help just with aesthetics and UI elements. For example, we put my menu on here, and you can see our logo is actually at the top here. I'm gonna be adding some other icons to make it easier to navigate through the shops, things like that. Oh, my eye is killing me. Oh my goodness. Anywho, I just hit sudden lag. We gotta find out what's caught. Are y'all getting this too? Like your FPS just drops?
I don't know. I'm running out.
Not really. Anyway,
Was it just me? No. All right.
We're about 7 minutes in. We should probably move on to Bukkit Death.
Bukkit Death.
Yes. Bukkit
yeah.
is dying.
We'll tie this into actually what Coleman's been doing for us. Been doing for himself really is Coleman's been developing mods, learning mods. Coleman wants to talk about that briefly.
Well, basically, I'm making mods, and I'm just open to ideas right now, so if anybody wants to suggest an idea in the comments, they can, and I might take a look at it.
Probably not.
Most likely not.
He doesn't.
But you can leave it there.
I encourage you, Coleman.
Tim will tell Coleman to look at it.
I encourage you, Coleman, to put up a post somewhere, one of the forums that whatever modders are using, to accept additional suggestions. But I'll tie back into this after we talk about the recent changes to Bukkit. They're huge changes. For anyone who's been out of the loop.
Do you maybe want to start at the beginning and explain what, the politics before you explain the outcome?
Oh yeah. So
I'm sure people already realize Bukkit Death doesn't sound good for Bukkit, but there's a lot of an explanation.
It's not good for Bukkit, but it doesn't seem to be impacting the community.
It's definitely impacting them, but it's not going to kill it.
The community's pretty rubber banding right now. They're getting back to where they were pretty quickly, so I don't think the community's gonna have an issue. Anyway, Tim.
So, in summary, for those of y'all who don't know what Bukkit is, it's just it's a API some people have created several years ago, and it's what allows for plugins. So when you play on multiplayer vanilla servers, and they got things like protections or economy, things like that, those are plugins which have been developed by other people. They're not affiliated with Mojang.
Or even minigames.
You've been on minigame servers. Those are very popular. Those would not be possible without Bukkit or any of its derivatives.
Minigame servers are probably going to take a small hit, but they don't really update it nearly as much as regular servers, so...
But
They
It
run
should
off.
be-
Most of them run off their own code anyway. So
yeah. But anyways, I'll start from the top. About 3 years ago, Bukkit was created by some independent developers, not affiliated with Mojang. I believe there's 4 of them, and a few months after, Mojang noticed, their efforts and hired them. So they contacted them. They hired the 4 developers. This in itself was not unknown. People knew this happened, that the 4 developers were hired. But since its inception, of course, the project has taken on additional developers. But something that secretly happened and no one knew about until recently was that Mojang actually purchased the rights to Bukkit. So Mojang owns Bukkit. They own the code. They own all development efforts. Well, I don't know if that's the extent of it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But one of the original developers, one of the original 4 that were hired, quit the team. And when he quit, he tried taking down Bukkit. He tried to shut down the whole project. And that's when Jeb came out and on a tweet, and he pretty much said this person did not have Mojang's permission to shut down Bukkit, and that Mojang was gonna put Bukkit back up for use and whatnot. And this is when the whole community is like, "Whoa, wait a minute! What do you mean, Mojang? This guy didn't have Mojang's permission?" And the whole community just pretty much figured out that Mojang owned Bukkit, and one of the developers, not the one of the 4, but a different developer who developed some of the code for Bukkit. She, I'm not sure. Didn't like the fact that, this is just my speculation, that didn't like the fact that Mojang owned Bukkit and went around sending takedown notices, DCMA claims. He basically told Bukkit. He told all the derivatives of Bukkit, which includes Spigot, Cauldron, what formerly known as MCPC Plus, and what was the other one? Craft Bukkit, to basically stop development. They're no longer allowed to use his code in their projects, which pretty much means all downloads have been taken out. If you go to Bukkit right now, if you go to Cauldron's website, if you go to Craft Bukkit's website, you can no longer download any of those files, which are essential to running plugins on your servers.
I should mention we also got chips in the audio feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's eating
They're
chips.
away. I'm sorry.
Fatty gonna need some chips there? Fatty? Huh?
It's
Not
huge.
cool, man,
you
this
don't-
time.
Just mad you don't have any.
This is devastating
Here
to the
was my
entire community.
sandwich.
Yeah, at least on your sandwich. And as a result, from what I noticed, a lot of, at least the Bukkit community, the Bukkit developers who were currently, or now formally working on it, have just up and left, or, they're basically like, oh, well, we're done. Bukkit's dead, we're done. But from what I noticed, and for those who are familiar with Forge, Forge is not owned in any way by Mojang. Forge was completely unaffected by this, thankfully. Forge is what people use to make mods. It's what makes mod packs possible, such as Direwolf 20 and whatnot. It's not Bukkit. It doesn't even use Bukkit. Man, my eye is still killing me. Jeez. I'm like sitting here rubbing it
Yeah.
the whole time trying to talk. So what seems to be happening is that the what is left of the Bukkit community is getting together with the Forge community, and they're going to develop a new API built on top of Forge for plugin developers. So, based on what little I know about the modding community and the Bukkit community, is from what it sounds like, from now on, plugin developers are gonna have to develop their plugins using this new API, which pretty much makes plugins now mods. But they won't be mods in the same sense that things like
there'll still be
They
plugins,
will just
as in the server side.
They're server-side mods that act as if they're plugins. They
Yeah.
only have to be on the server side, and you
Exactly.
won't need a special launcher just to run it.
Exactly. So
would
they
you,
will
would
still
you say it's? Would you say it's kind of like if you want like a sort of kind of an example of this already? I think Opus would be a good one.
Opus, yeah, Opus is a good one. My Town is something we have used. Yeah, I don't think My Town is very popular, not very well heard of, which it should be. I mean, it's an absolutely wonderful server-side mod that I recommend for claim protections.
Sorry, I'm gonna go
so
finish my chips.
things
I'll be
like My
muted.
Town, things like Opus, things like Forge Essentials. For those who are familiar with the plugin Essentials, there is a Forge version. Things like that are examples of server-side mods that people don't need to download to play in your server. And they run better because they're built on top of Forge, which means they can hook into mods much better. Especially like My Town. My Town can block things like if you have a My Town claim around your base or whatever on the server, and someone tries shooting a mining laser or blowing up IC2 nukes near your base is completely unaffected. Whereas you used a plugin like Grief Prevention or Townie, you would be fucked. You would be totally fucked by these mods because Townie doesn't handle those mods properly. Yeah, it's a huge thing. We're all sitting here waiting to see what the outcome is. It's not affecting any of the servers that are currently running. And I'm assuming people are going to be sharing what versions of, Cauldron and Bukkit they have with each other, so the community around still, but it'll be impacted quite a bit until new APIs come out.
All right. So while we're still on the
Yeah,
subject of Mojang,
I want to swing this over real quick, though, to Coolman's and kind of see what Coolman's take is on this in terms of taking advantage of what new API will come out for developing server-side mods. If you've put any thought into this, Coolman's.
I haven't really, but just off of my mind, it's probably gonna be a better thing, so modding and plugin making is gonna be more similar than it has been.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna be easier to just go from creating a mod to creating a plugin.
I suppose when you think about it, in order for people to progress, they need to just have a problem that they need to overcome.
Yeah. Let me restart my client real quick. It's lagging.
I think that's pretty much what's applying here. Is the problem is something everyone relied on is going away, but because of that, there's going to be
something better's coming back.
It's going to be innovation.
There's going to be a better. There's going to be the two separate communities are going to finally come together, which is it's funny because if you've ever been involved with any of the Forge community at all, you see people arguing why don't plugin developers just develop for Forge? I mean, they can do the same thing, but Forge, Forge only servers would run so much better without MCPC Plus and all this crap, which I kind of agree with. I've seen what mods are capable of, and when you throw plugins into it, you kind of run into issues. I mean, even if you have a plugin that's extremely well developed, like World Edit or World Guard, as soon as you throw mods into the mix, it's like it loses half, if not more, of its capabilities.
To be completely fair, though, if you throw mods into the business of other mods, the same thing occurs.
Yeah,
so.
but not as bad, because at least the different mod developers, especially for the more popular mods, could get together and work issues out with each other. Which it happens, it happens. You see things like thermal expansion, and then you have another mod that uses thermal expansion stuff
I can see this event putting an end to I feel like a lot of Minecraft mod development is running a little stagnant. This might be what it needs to give it a little jump start. we might see a lot of new things coming up.
And I hate to say this, but the timing is actually perfect because we just now getting past, or we're still in this transition between 1.6.4 and 1.7, which is a huge transition for mod developers.
Not to mention 1.8 is going to be a thing in a couple months.
Yeah, which
Like,
should
it's
be as
It's already out, but I don't see a lot of mod developers picking it up right from the get-go.
right.
You can't either. So.
If this had have happened before 1.7.10 was even out, while we were, the mod community was heavy in 1.6.4, I felt like it would have discouraged a lot more mod developers to just up and not mod developers, plugin developers just up and quit. But now in 1.7.10 out, and a lot of the a lot of the heavy work has been done to transition to, well, first of all, develop Forge that works with 1.7.10. It might be a lot more easier than if it happened earlier.
Any last words, or can we move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
Next topic is Microsoft.
Microsoft's buying Mojang.
Yes.
It's so funny. Hold on, before we continue, hold on. Let me find this. I saw this on Reddit. Gotta be on here on top page somewhere. One sec. Found it. Okay. I'm actually gonna pull this up on the stream. Oh, this is a tweet from Marcus Persson, or aka Notch. 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he tweeted, "Anyway, my price is $2 billion. Give me $2 billion and I'll endorse your crap."
Jokingly.
and now, now that Microsoft is buying Mojang for $2 billion, they're like
not
retweeting
buying them. They're in talks about it.
Oh, they're in talks. Yeah, fine, in talks, whatever.
Well, yeah, it's not a definite thing.
It's
yet.
not final. Yeah. You gotta be careful about saying that too. I hate when people say it's final. I'm like, no, they're still talking about it.
But yeah, if it, let's just hypothetically say if it happens, because if it doesn't happen, nothing's gonna change. Mojang's still gonna be Mojang. Microsoft's still gonna be doing Microsoft stuff. But I think it would be a little bit more of an interesting topic if we go into what you think will happen if Microsoft does go through with the purchase.
I think as long as the Minecraft team, I don't care about all the other projects. Sorry, Cobalt, whatever, Scrolls they're not super popular. Microsoft, do whatever you want. But for Minecraft, and I'm pretty sure Microsoft is doing this because of primarily
Microsoft wants Minecraft. It's
Minecraft is already incredibly huge on Xbox. It's probably one of Xbox's top games.
Yeah, that's where I started actually.
Or at least top indie games.
All right, Sus, you can leave now.
It's so huge. It's so huge. That you've got communities like Rooster Teeth that had just popularized it. In fact, Rooster Teeth has popularized it so much that one of Rooster Teeth's icons, the Tower of Pimps, for those of y'all who watch their Let's Plays, is actually in the Xbox version of Minecraft. You can go on the tutorial map, and it's like a Easter egg on the tutorial map. So it's not surprising that Microsoft is doing this. If it was Sony or someone else, I'd be like, what the fuck, and why are they doing this? But no, it's yeah. I should let y'all talk.
As far as different things I can think of is if Microsoft buys Mojang, there's a good chance they might push Mojang into making different things or extensions to things or alterations, because you've seen it with Rare. The purchase of Rare was a lot of people don't like that Microsoft owns Rare. It was.
Is that
It
the
was
same
prob-
as Rareware from back in the day?
Yeah, that's the same
Oh
company.
wow. Oh,
Microsoft owns Rare now, and
damn it.
because of that, a lot of the long-running game series that people know and love
Perfect Dark.
are just not happening. Partially because a lot of those, like the rights to some of those things, were partially owned by Nintendo, so they basically had to scrap a lot. As far as I know.
The one
I
I could
believe
think
that's
of,
the case.
correct me if I'm wrong, but Donkey Kong suffered from that.
Oh yeah, Well, no,
Because
Donkey Kong's still surviving. It's still doing.
It's
pretty
still
good.
surviving, but I feel like I don't know if it's because of with Rare, but I do feel like that Donkey Kong is not the one of the crown games from Nintendo that it used to be. I mean, I bought.
Well, after the new Donkey Kong is making its comeback.
Is it?
Yeah.
Which one?
Donkey Kong is making a comeback.
The brand new one just came out. Donkey Kong.
It's on the
Is
DS, isn't it? Or no, it's
No,
Wii
it's
U.
Wii U.
The
I'll say-
Tropical Freeze?
I don't. Nobody knows what it's actually called.
I have Tropical Freeze. I don't know if that's the one you talk about.
But
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country.
yeah, they're basically doing like a going back to their roots with Donkey Kong, and people are really
Why can't
liking
that
that.
fly? Fuck.
Anywho, but yeah, like for instance, like the Rare Donkey Kong games were top notch. Like they were very, very well designed games. Another series that this was less because of rights and ownership and whatnot, and more because of like the shift in development. But Banjo-Kazooie, the Banjo-Kazooie series, took a major hit.
That's why it's now on
And-
the Microsoft, the live thing.
I need to do a
on Xbox
retro
Live.
review of that
Nuts and
game.
Bolts wasn't well received by any stretch of the term, and like people really wanted a game in the same vein as Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. They didn't want nuts and bolts, and that's what they got, and that's where it was left. Another series that people really wish that they had a new installment of is the Conquer series. Conquer's Bad Fur Day being the most famous of the
Oh, I
series.
remember that game. Oh, it's such
yeah,
a
like-
bad game. It's such
Like
a
for being
like-
on the 64, it was a very, very adult game.
yeah. Oh my
Um,
god.
And yeah,
Oh.
that took a major hit. But now people are wondering, well, this is a new age. Online is a big deal now. So if Microsoft doesn't shift their focus towards that aspect, will they shift their focus to restrictions, DRM, all that nasty stuff that people don't like to hear about?
Ew.
And Microsoft hasn't necessarily done very well.
Hey, it could be
in the
worse.
past.
It could be worse. It could be EA buying Minecraft.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
we're now putting Minecraft in our PopCap division.
Oh my god.
That would be awful, but
It's now a Flash
Microsoft-
game.
Microsoft isn't necessarily the best company that could be buying it, but
It's not
as
the
you,
worst.
As you said,
Not EA.
yeah, it's not the worst. EA would have been a
How
bad
about-
one.
about
It's
that?
like-
Zynga,
it's-
Zynga or
it's-
Facebook.
It's like
Facebook.
it's like Disney purchasing Lucas Arts. It's like you got like it's like 50-50. It's like it could be all Disney-y or it could, be badass, but then you still have like the people who are like it could be episodes 1 through 3 again. We're all just waiting. Everyone's just waiting.
Yeah. To be fair though, George Lucas he needed someone to take Star Wars away
Yeah,
from him.
because my argument for that kind of off topic and for Microsoft, which we're gonna wait to see what the outcome is
We're already
is
going on a big
yeah,
ass tangent.
is
with
that
as well.
is that when people talk about Disney buying LucasArts, I'm like, well, yeah, but it's the same team. They still have like it's still LucasArts. They're just under Disney. It's not a whole new team taking over Star Wars. It's still the same people. And like so with that. With that,
you got, like outside influence, but you still got the team.
Yeah,
like,
so that's why I'm like, I get where you're going, but I don't want to have the final word on it. I just want to wait and see what the outcome is.
But gaming is a slightly different story.
Yeah, it is a different thing.
Gaming is going through a phase where people don't want their stuff to be pirated. Which is one thing I think is kind of bullshit. Is okay. I understand wanting to protect your intellectual properties, but like music, movies, they're in the same vein as video games, wouldn't you say? Like they're both meant to be entertainment.
It's funny because I'll let you finish, but I'm gonna have my 2 cents on it.
Taylor Swift, I'm gonna let you finish, but
all right, Tim, go.
No, I mean you could finish.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck, where was I?
Talking about videos and games and
yeah,
music and how they're all
like music and stuff.
You're welcome.
Like, all of those. I will admit that movies have an outside income, which is when you like music, you go to concerts. Movies, you go to. What are those
movie theaters?
Movie theaters. Yes.
What are those things where you go watch movies at?
Damn Canadians know what movie theaters are.
Games don't really have that kind of medium, so I can understand wanting to protect it more, but really, you're only like it seems like the amount of DRM people are creating now is more or less hurting their IP than helping it. Anyway,
yeah.
Tim, you wanted to say?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it. Is
best example of what a company could do would be like Game Dev Tycoon. Or
that's great.
you guys know about that, right?
See, what I was going to say is, it's kind of weird because I'm going to touch back on something that's going to make people angry. Is remember when the Xbox first came out? They tried to get rid. Xbox One first came out. They tried to get rid of backwards compatibility. They're pretty much like you can only use the new games, and the old games you have to buy again on through the store and download them. Which that philosophy in itself I like, but it's still too early to do that. Because you see things like Spotify, for music. You see things like Spotify and Google Play Music and even SoundCloud. And it's so easy nowadays for music, and even with movies and TV shows for like Netflix and Hulu, to just pay a subscription and get your music and shows on demand.
I think that's something gaming I think could really benefit from.
Yes.
Not streaming.
It would actually be going back to it, because Sega back in the '90s actually did this.
Really?
With the Sega box, yes.
But think about it. The issue now is
it hooked up to your local. It hooked up to the cable at the time before the internet was actually around, and hooked up to your cable ISP, and for a monthly fee, you got access to all of the new Sega games.
Oh, that's cool.
While on the topic, Nintendo had a similar thing, but a lot more restricted as well. And also, then there's also the streaming things that exist right now on PC.
See, I think this could work, except there's one major issue that's preventing this from really taking off, and that is internet speeds. I mean, I think that's because things like streaming videos and streaming music didn't become possible until current internet speeds. I mean, you tried doing this back in the 90s, no way would it be possible. People were like, no, fuck, I'm going to go to Walmart and just buy the album. But
one thing I can say though, in regards to your comment about the having to buy your games all over again, a DVD player can not only play, a Blu-ray player can not only play Blu-rays but can play CDs and DVDs.
Yeah.
So I don't see and like a lot of the time the argument is made that the console's not designed to run things on, like, run older systems. But that right there has already been proven multiple times to be horseshit, because if you look at a PS4, the PS4 in the past had a small leak for PlayStation Classics, and basically
play them.
yeah, they accidentally they accidentally the whole PlayStation library pretty much for the PS4. They fixed that up, but people in that time people were able to get classic games. Another thing is, like, consoles these days are trying to be more and more like computers. So my computer, like, is strong enough to easily emulate anything from the generation of PlayStation 2 and before without any difficulty. And this is through the use of essentially third-party groups just making it work. And they're telling you that the people who created the goddamn technology can't make it work on older consoles or on newer consoles, which is complete just garbage. Anyway, I think Tim's not here, so any final comments from anyone else?
PC Master Race.
PC Master Race. Oh, this was all about the freaking Minecraft versus or Minecraft being purchased. So I think we could roll back to that and basically end on that. What will Microsoft do? I think depends.
It's not what Microsoft will do. It's more of what Mojang will do. And according to, I believe it was Jeb's tweet, they said they are toying with the idea. However, they're going to do what they feel is best for the growth of their company.
That does sound. That's one thing. I'd have to say, Jeb. He's a very reassuring member of Mojang. Like,
where he says that he's going to look out for what his community wants and what is their best option for the future. And $2 billion from Microsoft isn't necessarily the future.
Yeah, and if you look at the, like, how it reflects Minecraft itself, like, if you looked at a lot of the updates, the additions they were making, they were requests or they were mods that pre-existed, and, like, because of people like Jeb, and I'm assuming there's a couple other people on the Mojang team, that because of those people, we saw the growth of Minecraft in a way that we otherwise would have never seen.
Actually, speaking of growth of Minecraft, I saw an interesting post. Give me 1 second here to pull it up.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'll just finish what I was going to say about it. Yeah, so, like, if Jeb is... Like, Jeb seems to have a lot of say, and I don't mean to sound, like, rude, but I've known about a lot of Notch's work before Minecraft, and none of it was necessarily just god-awful or anything, but, like, Minecraft is really a vastly superior IP than anything else Notch worked on. Jeb, I don't know what his past experiences are, but it seems like him taking over the lead development for Minecraft was probably for the best. Kieran, do you got your...
I'm looking for it. It was actually, I can explain to you what it was. It was a group of guys on our Minecraft on Reddit actually we're talking about, like, what would be a cool idea for is this it right here?
I'm getting ass raped by a zombie.
But it
Okay,
was
miss
what?
you.
God damn it, Tim. Like, they were saying what would be cool for like what mods like or what changes would be cool to bring actually into 1.9. And they were saying like the fact that maybe they will bring in like what was I gonna say seasons
Seasons.
Oh.
Ooh.
and have biomes change according to the seasons.
That'd be cool.
That would be really interesting. It could open
And
up
have
a
it
lot
had
of
to be the
mod
course of
expansion,
like
too.
5 real days. The seasons would change.
I want to see them bring in a default shaders.
Anyway, this topic has been stretched out and it's been on a
And
tangent
banked
and back.
and whipped.
So, next up, open my little notepad.
It's in the description.
This one I'll let Sus open up with. Sus, would you like to talk about Mount Your Friends?
Oh
yes.
gosh.
Yes.
Maybe give us a brief
So-
description.
Let's go back and talk
And yes,
about
it
something
apparently
real
is
quick.
as gay as it sounds.
It is. I've seen it.
All right,
gosh.
Sus.
Let's
have
go
something
back
to
and
say?
talk about something that well, as you guys know, if you watched last week's podcast, Osro, his computer died, and he was going to be in my first bat time with Sus with Robocraft, and because his computer died, I'm gonna kind of put Robocraft on hiatus for now. And I was talking to Tim yesterday, and I brought this game up to him, and he's like, I've never heard of this Mount Your Friends kind of game. So I was like, okay, well, I'd seen a few YouTube videos before of people playing it, so I sent him a YouTube video, and he's like, what the hell?
It's great.
So
It is fantastic.
so I was thinking, the very first Bath on Us is probably going to be Tim and I playing this game, Mount Your Friends, which
We're
is
gonna mount each other.
Oh,
we're just gonna
gosh.
mount each other, assuming it's online play.
No,
I mean,
no spoilers. We'll
Yeah, and actually, with that being said, I bought a 4-pack of it, and that will be our giveaway at the end. Is a free copy of Mount Your Friends.
Ooh.
Play with Tim and I. Yeah. So I think that's all. I like to be brief,
So we
guys,
can mount
you know?
even more friends.
Yeah.
And
The way you bought a 4-pack?
Many.
before you start entering in to win the free copy, just ask yourself, do you really want it?
Yes.
'Cause-
The answer is obviously yes.
Wait, Sus,
I've-
you got a
I
4-pack?
guess if you're
I
in
did.
that kind of thing.
So
No,
if you're
cool, man,
giving
you
one
can't have
away,
it.
I get the other one, right?
No,
Right?
cool, man.
What
tell
have
him
you
no.
done for me?
Don't
done a
worry.
lot of
We'll keep
stuff
our
for you.
pants on. Don't worry. Well, except for Sus, because it's bath time.
Yeah, it is bath time. It's getting about bath time, guys. Actually, I'm gonna get off and take my bath and go to bed soon. Anyway, I like to keep things brief. Whose turn is it now?
We got the. Okay, so did we get the description all done with then?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a game where you are a guy in a Speedo, and you mount yourself on top of a goat,
Spoiler alert.
and your penis just swangs around left and right, and it just shows off to everybody. It's ridiculous.
Speaking of
alright
which,
up your
Sus,
alley.
we need to make your channel not channel, video bumper intro thingy, for
Yeah.
the series.
I've gotta
That's a thing we'll
gotta work
talk
on
to the
it.
side.
All right, so description all done with. Everyone happy with that?
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
America.
I don't know
Then
if
I
anybody else
guess
is.
since we spent so long on the last topic, we'll move on to our final topic, which might also be a slightly longer one.
Not the first
The
bit. The first bit.
miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous. What a
So
topic.
a couple podcasts ago, I brought up. No one else here in this channel plays WoW. So I'll talk about this.
Yep, it's all you, buddy.
Anywho, as most of y'all know, Robin Williams died a couple weeks
R.I.P..
ago.
Douche.
Hold on.
Oh, man's.
1 second.
What an asshole.
Okay,
So Tim
so
got Paige, so let's
Sorry.
talk about. Okay.
Anywho, I didn't want. We didn't talk about it in the podcast. We actually brought up something that's actually a tribute to Robin Williams. For those of you who didn't know, Robin Williams, he played WoW. Apparently, he played WoW, like a lot. He built custom gaming PCs, etc. As such, there was a petition put into Blizzard to have an NPC put in his honor, and Blizzard responded pretty damn quick. As a matter of fact, let me find it here.
They were like, hell yeah, turn it up,
They,
right on.
well, what's interesting is that right now WoW is actually going through a update for a new expansion, and as part of their updating to expansions, they release, beta builds of the expansion, and currently these beta builds are open to the public to, download and play on and test. And so one of the recent development builds actually has a new NPC in it, and I have it up here on the stream. And I'll just read what's here on Wowhead. Wowhead is a fan site, probably the number one fan site for WoW. But anyways, Robin Williams Genie NPC now in game in Warlords of Draenor beta. A few weeks ago, we data mined several Robin Williams NPCs. Data mining is where basically they take the game's data and they browse through, files, code, etc., to pull out pieces of information that might be interesting, but may not be immediately obvious. No, not immediately obvious.
Available.
So, data mining is like, pulling out character models, spells, things like that, and just, there's websites that compile a list of these, data mined information. One of the things data mined was Robin Williams NPCs. So they weren't actually officially in the game, they were just in the game code. But there was a more recent update where now he's an actual NPC in the game. Let's see. There is a genie. Someone found a genie. Actually, it was a lamp. And when you use let me see here. You can summon Robin by rubbing the ever-burning lamp. When first summoned, he exclaims, "Infinite cosmic power," and then shrinks and waves goodbye, saying, "Itty-bitty living space," which, if y'all remember, when Robin Williams voiced the genie in the Aladdin movie, that was one of his best quotes from that movie. So it's a direct quote from that movie.
If you watched Aladdin, you probably know that quote.
Nearby is a large broken egg, a tribute to the character Mork. We have data mined an alternate version of Robin dressed like Mork with overalls, so perhaps he will make an appearance here as well. And there's another part where there are also some stuffed animals and tanks, hinting at a potential tribute to toys. Our third data mined Robin NPC is also dressed like Mrs. Doubtfire. So it seems like they're going to add an NPC, either several NPCs or one that just changes into the different roles that Robin Williams played. Yeah, that's just a overview of that. I'm excited to actually play it in game and see what all they added. I don't usually do beta builds. I'll just wait for the release to look at it.
All right. Well, next topic. This one can be covered by quite a few of us, I believe. Is the new 3DS and the new 3DS LL.
Yeah.
Comments?
I still have my original 3DS, like the very, very first one, the $300 one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually got mine late, but I don't regret getting mine late because I ended up getting the limited edition X and Y one, which was really sweet.
Oh, that's cool.
But did you get the ambassador certificate?
Nope.
Aha, that's something I have. None of y'all will ever have.
I'll kill you for it.
Fortunately
Randall
though,
have it.
if I wanted to, I could get one of the new 3DSs. Let me pull it up here. I have it on the wiki.
I guess I should say, like, this 3DS is going to be a far, far bigger deal for me than maybe you guys. I'm not sure what 3DS games you play, but one gigantic one glaring right at me is basically I own a very small DS library. One of
too.
my favorite DS games though is the Monster Hunter game, and
Oh, I have that.
they're going to be coming out with another Monster Hunter with the introduction of this new DS2, and the new stick will help out quite a lot with the with that game and the new one coming out, along with a Xenogears game, I believe they mentioned.
Oh.
All games I'm really pumped up for, so that this new DS with just like the minor addition to the stick is a good thing. Oh, and while we were kind of like wondering what else they added, I forgot to mention one of the other things is better 3D effect, which I guess isn't a big deal for most people. Most people just turn it off.
Yeah.
I put that shit on full blast.
Like what it
Casuals.
does now, what it does now is the cameras will track your face, so it will adjust the 3D effect depending on where you're
Ooh.
positioned. So like say if you're looking at it from the side real hard, you'll still be able to see the 3D effect better than you would have before.
I like that.
That's neat.
It's also got an added audio slider on the left side. Basically the 3D
Oh, I
slider
see it
is still
now.
going to be there, but the volume's
on the left side,
going to be added
as
to
opposed to on the bottom half of the 3DS is on the top half. For easy, I guess,
yeah.
to see it better.
The
I think it's like that on the regular XL as well.
but yeah, those are the biggest changes.
Oh, that's pretty neat. See, what's fortunate
Yeah.
about my ambassador program thing is that I can get any of the newer models and transfer all the data to it.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably gonna get more into DS stuff. Oh, actually, this also ties into something else I wanted to mention. Nintendo has been coming out with a couple statements here and there, talking as if they're gonna start petering a lot more to a
Hardcore gaming.
More
hardcore
more aggressive.
gaming. Yeah, because like they've been talking about how that like Nintendo knows full well they have been
Behind the ball.
they have been in the casual gaming market for the past
Which is cool, which I like
2
that.
generations. Yeah,
'Cause
it's
you don't
nice.
see that with the other consoles. I mean, 3D, especially with the 3DS, it's got a lot of cool, like, quick play games, which are absolutely fun for traveling and shit.
I won't say the last 2 generations because, despite what the GameCube was, the GameCube did bring games.
No, I'm mostly referring to the Wii and Wii U. Sorry.
Well, the Wii U still. It
the
hasn't.
Wii the Wii U was the mark of their shift to a casual audience.
Where they
and-
actually got on the graphical bandwagon.
Yeah.
yeah.
1080p finally.
um,
Oh,
the one thing I should mention is the GameCube was a very powerful system for what it was. Its limitation was the type of disc it used.
Look at the Metroid games.
Mm-hmm. And actually, people have also pointed out that Resident Evil, the Resident Evil 4, I believe,
Oh, that game was outstanding.
that game was better looking on the GameCube than it was on the PS2.
Speaking of Nintendo and whatnot, what do y'all think about this? I haven't been following up on it, but I saw like a post come across my Facebook or something about the whole Ridley and new Smash
Okay.
Brothers.
I'd like to say like the biggest argument for that is size is
Too
is a
big.
problem, right? Like Ridley's too big. If you look, like I literally played Smash Bros. Melee a couple days ago, and in the opening cinematic, Ridley is only barely taller than Samus. Only barely taller. If you go and look at the opening cutscene for Smash Bros, you'll see it. The other thing is if sizes were ever a problem, Bowser should be in most instances too big. and Olimar from Pikmin should be literally the size of a quarter. Like if you look at the back of the instruction book for Pikmin, it compares their sizes to household objects, and they're tiny. So
Yeah.
people saying like people making the size argument is horse. They're
It's horse
speaking
shit.
horse shit.
Yeah.
If you go and you look at the history of, what's it called, Smash Bros. Anyways, it ends up being the type of thing that they're trophies fighting in a game.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the original game cinematic was a glove
I
picking
remember
out
Yeah.
toys, and
Holy
then the
shit.
toys came to life, and that was the fighting.
And when you're done with the character, it puts it back on the shelf.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool.
It's
So
it's
it's
a
not
fictional
meant to-
universe in a fictional universe.
Right. The
And-
master hand is actually
It's actually a person
To you.
Right.
pretending, and that's actually something I've always really loved about it.
Get back here, Wither.
And- I'm not sure if you guys feel the same about this, but when they added Crazy Hand, and they have like the left and right hand, but they act differently. I could totally imagine a kid placing like toys on like a counter or something, and having one hand act one way and one hand act the other way, like they're two different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really fun, really an interesting way of thinking about it. But yeah, Ridley in Smash Bros. As a playable character, I don't think it's a problem. Honestly.
I think it'll be actually awesome.
Oh, I think it'll be great. Like, Metroid is super underrepresented, mostly because what characters do you add to it? Like, you have Samus. There you go. You basically exhausted every option.
Oh,
you
we could add Mother
except
Brain.
for
Oh
Ridley.
wait, it just sits there. I can see Mother Brain. Oh, I haven't
Mother
played.
Brain, Mother Brain, I think, could be added
As
as
a boss.
Like, well, not as a boss. Well, maybe as a boss, but
Or
Mother Brain
Stage Hazard.
has taken a couple forms. So, like, I think if they put Mother Brain in sort of like a machine body or something, they could get away with it.
What about a Chozo body?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Chozo Mother Brain.
But anyway, Ridley, he's had a lot of size changes throughout throughout the Metroid series. So
Oh,
Then again,
definitely.
he's so
Oh my god.
he's so iconic too. Like everyone knows who he is, even if you don't. Like if you know Nintendo, you know who Ridley is, even if you've never played Metroid.
Really?
Well, a lot of people, I guess. Just like who's Ridley?
You can
Yeah.
guess by looking at it that it doesn't have that childish look to it. It has that dark Metroid
He's
feel to
gonna
it.
fuck you up. Look,
Not gonna lie, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't either.
he's the dragon.
Well, screw you guys. Anyway,
I'm funny
Goddamn
at
dragon.
I was actually. There's so many characters in the roster already that I'm more surprised about. In fact, like in the new one, why isn't the Wii Fit trainer a bigger deal
Yeah.
to people? It's like,
Yeah.
that's just dumb. That like barely counts as a character, and like people are bitching like Ridley's gonna be a playable character. Oh my god, this can't have been happening. Oh, what have you done to my Nintendo? But yeah,
Sounded like Zill.
anyway, that's basically where I stand on that conversation. Oh, actually, while talking about that, who's another game that people have been pointing out is going to be compatible with the new stick for the 3DS is Smash Bros.
But
any-
here's the issue: is the Smash Bros. They're releasing with the same exact roster on both platforms. However,
Oh, that's one more thing. The new 3DS is going to have Amiibo support, if that matters to anyone.
What
well,
is-
it's the Amiibo's a cool idea,
Anyway, you were saying?
but I would honestly, I have a 2DS, so for me it would be Smash Bros. Would be a $30 or $40 purchase for my 2DS, and I could have it. But to me, I honestly would. I'm more likely to go out and buy a Wii U to play Smash Bros. Than I am on my handheld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, Smash Bros is that big of a game. Like, I have not been hyped up. Like, I want to get a Wii U for 2 games, pretty much. The
Mario
new
Kart 8.
Mario Kart, and
Mario
Smash
fucking
Bros.
Kart 8. I have that game. It's so great.
There's a couple upcoming games that I'd love to try and
Star
love
Fox?
to get and yeah, like one of the big ones is the new Zelda games. I
Yeah.
really want to try those. While on that while on the subject of Nintendo petering to a lot more hardcore audiences, any of you hear of Pokken Fighters?
Oh, that looks fucking sweet.
It does. It's being developed by the people who've done Tekken and
It is
Soul Calibur.
Tekken meets Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, I remember
looks-
that. Yeah.
It looks great.
Oh my god.
It's
What's
gonna be
Tekken?
Tekken is
Tekken
like a fighting game.
anyway. Pokken Fighters is gonna be released for the arcades.
like Mortal
and
Kombat.
then,
Oh.
it's literally going to be released like a Tekken game. It's going to be released on arcades, so it's going to be a Japanese only exclusive for a bit, and then it's going to get ported to consoles, just like the Tekken series. And I thought that was so cool. Like, who would have ever thought Nintendo would be like, you know what? Let's put Pokemon into a fighting game. And I've seen some gameplay footage. If you browse around the internet, a lot of leaked footage was released, and it looks like a fun game. Like, I'm kind of
Let me
into
look it up here.
fighters, but it's a lot of. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Pokken.
And Pokemon has been one of my favorite series since I was like a wee little boy.
The only fighter I got into was Dragon Ball Z. The
There we
Budokai
go.
Series.
Anywho, anything else we want to say, or do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, click
Well,
this
we do
trailer
have
here.
to do a giveaway.
Oh yeah.
What's our
giveaway.
giveaway gonna be, Abu?
Well, we know what it's.
About your
We know what
friends.
we know what it's about. Well, I honestly, this one I feel like we should do differently. In order to claim, I feel like this week's prize, you should have to sign on TeamSpeak and poke one of the members of
This podcast?
this podcast
That's a good idea.
with what country Zayn is from.
If no one knows, he's from Australia.
Oh, that is gonna be freaking. That is okay. First of all, don't tell anyone, cause
No, there's been subtle hints throughout this whole thing.
I'll tell you right now, I'm almost always in the TeamSpeak, and if you poke me, you can literally check right before giving me the answer. So it's not gonna be a hard one to answer, but I would like to hear more. I would like to see more people on TeamSpeak.
Let's
Hints to those who never get on TeamSpeak. You click the person's name and it shows you what country they're in. If you don't need your flags, then, well, you need to go back to school.
Good luck to you.
Or there's Google.
But yeah, I feel like and at the end of the week we'll each take record of who poked us with what,
Yeah.
and it'll be up to a random drawing.
I'll get
I'm-
this a whole week. Well, a whole 2 weeks instead of the regular 1 week,
Also-
because I don't think
How
many people
about
are
we
gonna
say?
get
How
on.
about we say a week from next Tuesday, so that and then the following Wednesday we'll do the next podcast.
And yeah, announce the.
Speaking of which, I think another thing we should
Yeah, that's fair.
probably do is, well, right now the last winner is encountering some technical difficulties, but I do believe when we do have a definitive winner, we
They're
should announce
required
them.
to have Steam.
They have to be on Steam every
Yeah.
once in a while.
And they have to be part of our Steam group.
Oh, why don't you
um,
announce that, Sus, in case he's watching the podcast?
Oh yeah, Drone3 won, and he is actually the last time he was on Steam, according to my friends list, was 328 days ago.
It might be a
So-
bug, or it might be, accurate. But
he
if
doesn't
you want
have
your
any
prize,
games.
if you want your
So-
prize, get a hold of us.
Yeah,
Yep.
Otherwise, we're gonna give it away to someone else. Got
Yep.
I mean he's messaged me on Facebook or on
Yeah.
not on our website, not Facebook.
Or get on TeamSpeak and we'll get this shit
Yeah.
straightened out.
Give
Yeah.
us a
Yep.
poke.
I'll tell everyone listening right now. If you're on TeamSpeak and you have some beef with any of us, mostly Tim, then
I didn't do anything.
then just go on, bitch at Tim because I won't want to deal with your shit. Tim will get everything worked out. He's online as much, if not more, than I am. I'm online late. He's online early.
It's a country thing.
Everyone else is online at whatever.
Not a country thing.
It
Yeah, I
is not a country thing. I'll tell you right now. I stay up till 5 a.m. Anyway, yeah. So if you want if you want stuff to change and you need it changed now, you can go on TeamSpeak and complain.
But I do
Also,
want you
feel
guys
free-
to know, if you ask me, I'm gonna do literally nothing. So
Coolmans will be the giganticest jerk if you try to freaking.
But
give him problems
if
to
you
him.
do give him an answer and he doesn't tell one of us, I will ban him for 3 days. Just throwing that out there.
I will tell them, but you're probably not gonna get any answers out of me.
Watch, someone's gonna be like, "Well, I already asked Coolmans like a week ago, and
Yeah.
like, they're just bullshitting. They just want him to get banned for a week."
Yeah.
Someone's gonna do it.
We
Someone's
would
gonna come
believe
at
you. Not cool, man.
It's a stranger words. It's a stranger's words over Coolmans. So,
Yeah, that's what it is now. That's what it's come down
Alright.
to.
any other final statements or?
Yeah, when you poke Zayn, feel free to
we
exclaim how fucking hot he is.
we redefine community driven.
Is that your picture, Zayn?
Yeah,
that is
a
actually
picture of me.
Zayn.
That is how I
he's
look.
like,
You have a lot of hair.
I mean, I'm a straight male
Yeah.
saying that man's drop dead sexy.
Coming from the
Anyway.
guy that plays the games called Mount
So
My
yeah,
Out my
Friends.
friends.
Sus, I have something
Bath
that
time was sus.
you might not want to hear, but you gay.
That is that's an excellent first game though for Bad Time with Sus. Is Mount Your
Yeah.
Friends. Let's mount your friends and then Bad Time with Sus.
I should mention that I have nothing against gay people.
Okay.
I think
That's good.
Sus should do it with
Um,
Zayn now.
Awesome
Anyway.
apples, yes.
So
Oh,
anyway, are we ready to wrap this up?
Yep.
We are.
Yeah.
Good
Maybe.
night, everybody.
Thanks for
Fuck
joining us.
off, Coolmans.
Peace.
User was kicked from your channel.
Your channel was kicked from the server.
Even worse.
Bye, Coolmans.
Uh...
It was his bedtime anyway.